Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to another episode of The Cider Drinker. Now, for me, it's been quite a while since I've done a review, but for you, it probably won't be. It will be literally the next week after the previous one. Anyway, besides the point, yes, it's been a while, and today we have the third of the three ciders that I bought from 10 Beer Bottles, a little beer bottle shop in Wivenhoe, of Nightingale Cider. So I've already tried, well, quite a few of their range actually, and this is the last of the canned varieties that I have got, and it is a can of their, I'll have to go onto the side, but it is a can of their Wild Disco cider. Yes! I mean, you know, if you have to ask the question, that's going to be the answer, isn't it? So yeah, Wild Disco. There's quite an ingenious thing of why it's called that, but we'll get into that in a sec. But with all the rest of Nightingale's canned range, this comes in 440ml cans and is a pretty nice 5.5% ABV, so it's not going to completely blow your head off. Wild Disco is rooted in an impulse and something unexpected. 100% wild fermented Kentish Discovery apple juice with floral, red apple and rose aromas, fresh and zingy on the palate with a clean finish. Go wild. Medium dry sparkling cider. Cider? Yes! Scan the QR code to find out more. So yeah, this is basically using Discovery apples. So Wild Disco, Discovery, get it? Get the joke? You know... I thought it was funny anyway. Ingredients. Yes, it does have ingredients. It has apple juice, water, sugar, malic acid, and sulfites. Suitable for vegans and celiacs. Serve chilled and consume fresh. So yeah, Nightingale are based in Tenterden in Kent. If you want to go and give those guys a check out. I know some guys will have their opinions on those ingredients, but do you know what? Always unbiased in these reviews. So let's get this poured out into the glass and just see what I make of Wild Disco. Shame my name's not Stu, really, isn't it? It could have been Wild Disco Stew, but hey ho. Right. Get all that in there. Right, so crystal clear, as you can see, completely filtered down. Fairly hefty carbonation, I want to say, rising up to the top there in a nice little tornado swirling effect there. That looks really nice. Very, very light colour as well. This looks almost akin to a Perry in the glass, actually. A very light, very, very, very light straw, greeny yellow tinge to this cider, but if it didn't have that, that would literally almost be like I'm staring at water, to be honest. So, yeah, very light coloured cider, but is it going to be light in flavours and tastes? Let's find out. Okay, so green apples right off the start, sweet, a little bit of shop confectionery there. Yeah, definitely more on the sweet side here. Maybe a slight hint of funkiness. Nothing major. But yeah, I mean, that carbonation is rolling up there. That's it's tickling my nose buds as I'm smelling it. But yeah, it smells pleasant enough. Yeah, I think the Discovery apple is quite a sweet cider apple variety anyway. So is this going to be more in the medium sweet than the medium dry? We shall find out in the taste. Let's go. Cheers, everyone. Nightingale Cider's Wild Disco. Let's see what it's made of. That's actually really dry. That's like a dry white wine almost. Wow, that's instantly dried my mouth out. Whew. It's not a bone dry cider. It has got a little bit of sweetness just on the initial taste. Oh wow, yeah. Yeah, that is definitely a lot drier than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, really, it has got dry white wine qualities to it, for sure. Citric notes, definitely acid-led, especially on the initial taste as well. That is that little touch of sweetness, but yeah, no tannic presence in this cider at all. You can forget that. It's all about the acidity and the dryness here. But the carbonation is sort of detracting a little bit from the flavours a little bit. I said a little bit twice there, didn't I? Okay, there's subtle, grassy sort of notes there. Definite citrus, like the lemon. Bit of orange. Those green apple aromas are coming through on the taste though, so it gives that little bit of sweetness. Bone dry, like pretty much nearly a bone dry finish, I want to say, but not quite. But it's definitely lingering dryness. The slight leatheriness just on the back end, and then chalky mouthfeel. Chalky, yeah, definitely a chalky texture behind this. Wow. I mean, if I didn't know any different, I'd say you would have given me a sparkling dry white wine. Definitely. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. I didn't know the Discovery Apple did that sort of thing. Now, what I will say is slight, ever so slight, but it might just be because I've just had dinner, a slight cloying sensation. Now, obviously some people are going to say that the sweetness and the acidity is just from the addition of the sugar and the malic acid, you know, that's been added in, not the Discovery apples. Don't know how true that is, but that's definitely the dominant flavour profiles that are sort of coming through on this cider. But it's enjoyable. It's definitely more of a sipping cider. It's sort of like an evening, you want something to just have on an evening, you want to, I don't know, curl up and watch some things on Netflix. Not chill. But yeah, it's definitely one of those sorts of ciders. It's definitely not one that I could see envisaged like in a beer garden or outside, you know, giving it refreshing and all that. It's a palate cleanser. It's definitely one that you can have over dinner because it's going to cut through all those really flavoursome foods and just cleanse your palate for sure. And yeah, there are some really nice tastes here. So, final taste before a final verdict. Now, I will say, this is probably the most flavoursome cider that I've had from a Nightingale Cider Company so far. A few of theirs have been fine, but they've been sort of lacking a little bit in the flavours for me personally. But this one does have some lovely acid-led, dry, lingering flavours here. And it is quite enjoyable. I could easily see this replacing, as I've already said many times already, a dry white wine on the dinner table. So yeah, this is probably one of my favourites of theirs that I have tried so far. I'm sure they have many, many more out there, but that's going to have to wait for the future because I don't have them. With that said though, I'm going to go and give Nightingale's Wild Disco an 8 out of 10. Yeah, you thought it was going to go a little bit lower, didn't you? But no, this is a very enjoyable cider. It's not quite mind-boggling, it's not quite like, whoa, it's going to be amazing and all that, but it's got some really great flavours, and yeah, it's just one that I really enjoy, which I'm going to do after this review. But for now, that's another episode of The Cider Drinker for you guys. I hope you liked it, and as usual, I'll be back with another delicious and tasty cider soon. Until then, well, cheers, Nightingale Cider Company. I'm not going to go and quite have a wild disco after this, but I shall certainly be enjoying your wild disco cider. Take care, guys. Till next time.